Okay, so listen up. If you have bad credit and you're in need of anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 to help you get out of debt, maybe pay off your credit cards, or maybe you just need some emergency money to get your way through, well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 top places that can actually get you quick cash, even if you have bad credit, and they can get you the money in as little as 24 hours. So let's get into it. Okay, so there's a lot of you that are in need of fast cash right now. Maybe you have 2, 3 jobs and you're barely able to make ends meet. You have really high interest credit card payments. You're trying to make even your minimum monthly payments, and you're just trying to find a way to be able to get from one moment to the next. Well, what I want to share with you are 3 different places that can offer you quick cash, even if you have a low FICO score. But I'm going to give you a little backstory on how to use this credit, so then that way you have a better chance on not absorbing even more credit and getting yourself into deeper and deeper debt. This is just kind of a holdover so that you can get yourself into the next space. So I basically kind of try to equate this with, you know, being on monkey bars. Do you guys remember monkey bars when you were a little kid and you would just go from one monkey bar to the next? I always had a hell of a time trying to do that. I would drop off because my hands would just like lose grip really quick. And so basically the key is the swinging, right? You guys remember the swinging. So if you can get your swinging momentum into the prospect of grabbing onto the next monkey bar, then you have what it takes to be able to get to the other side. If you lose momentum, you lose out on this whole deal. And so I'm going to warn you in advance, these places that offer low FICO score individuals, maybe just like yourself, a quick loan to be able to get through, they do have higher interest rates. That's just how the ball bounces. When you have a lower FICO score, you're going to have to pay higher interest rates on loans and credit cards. You know, that's what happens when you screw up your credit. That's just how banks end up mitigating some of their potential loss on opening themselves to the extra risk on taking on somebody with a lower FICO score. So you have to understand how the risk-reward ratio works when it comes to banks and lenders. So please understand that this is kind of a quick fix. This is not a long-term solution. The long-term solution that you should think of right now, and I know that this is the last thing that some of you are thinking of right now, is how can I overall get myself out of this debt hole that I'm in? But I urge you to at least sit down and consider this before you jump into any of these loans. And here's what I would be thinking if I were you, especially if you are working multiple jobs right now and you know that this is not a sustainable system for you to continue moving forward through life. Because if you think about it, what's going to happen in a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Are you able to continue working 2, 3 jobs? You're probably going to even need even more jobs by then because the cost of living will have risen by then. And so is that sustainable? The answer for most of you is no, it's not. So let's start thinking in terms of, okay, well, instead of just continuing to borrow more money, getting deeper and deeper into a quicksand debt hole, which is probably where you're sinking right now, you have to think in terms of what kind of side hustle business can you start to start helping you get out of this quicksand hellhole that you're in, because otherwise you're not going to make it. Okay, I'm just going to be bluntly honest with you, you're not going to make it. So if you've not started to consider other opportunities for side hustles, you know, side gigs, selling something online, doing something, then your situation's only going to get worse. This is only a temporary Band-Aid. It's a quick fix to help you get to that next monkey bar, okay? So I'm going to teach you kind of how to use this strategy to whereas you can use this as a short-term solution with kind of a bigger goal in mind, okay? And so the bigger goal needs to be, okay, this is my short-term solution to help me pay off maybe some high interest credit cards, maybe to get, you know, through financially, maybe to even pay rent, whatever the case may be that you need the money for. This is a short-term solution, but if you just borrow the money and then it's status quo, continue working your job, continue as is with whatever kind of income that's coming in for you, you're going to sink quicker than the Titanic, okay? So you need to keep in mind that you do need to have something else in the peripheral and something else that you're working on as far as a business goes at the same time as using this as a quick short-term solution to get yourself out of the hole that you're in now. Otherwise, you're just going to go into a deeper hole. So with that in mind, I've done a lot of other videos on some side hustle gigs that you can do, that you can start making money with quickly. So you can look at my other YouTube videos on my channel for that. But do that now while you're borrowing this money. So then that way, maybe you can use some of this money to start your side hustle business. So then that way you can start crawling out of this debt hole, because that is really the only solution to all this, right? To make more money. And if you don't make more money to get out of this debt hole, you're going to sink deeper and deeper until one day you're going to have to file for bankruptcy. That's just the reality of how this is going to work for you. Okay. So let's talk about the 3 options and opportunities for you to be able to get a quick loan. So this first company here, I'm going to put it up on the screen for you. It's called Prosper, and some of you have probably already heard of it. They will give you anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000 in unsecured credit. It's going to be a loan. It doesn't take but a short time to get this loan, and they will approve people with a low FICO score of about 600, but I've heard of cases where they will approve as low as 560, so 560 FICO score. So if you have a really low FICO score and you need anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000, then Prosper is going to be someone you might want to apply with. They're also considered probably one of the more above board companies out of the 3 that I'm going to be recommending to you. So that is one of the places that you can go to get one of these short-term loans. The next recommendation I have for you is called Upstart. And Upstart can get you anywhere from $1,000 to $50,000. They're going to require you to have a higher FICO score, slightly higher than what you'll find with Prosper. They're going to have a reasonable interest rate, I think, for this kind of bad credit loan, which would be roughly around 12%. But please note that, again, this is a short-term solution to your problem. If you can borrow a little bit extra money than what you actually need right now, then you'd have an opportunity to maybe inject some of that extra money into whatever new business opportunity you're going to be doing as a side hustle to start earning extra money, because that's literally the only way you're ever going to climb out of this debt hole that you're in, is to be able to start making side hustle income. So Upstart is a really good way. Again, it's probably probably in my personal opinion, out of the 2 between Prosper and Upstart, or Upstart would be my preference, but they're going to require a little bit higher of a FICO score. However, they will, to get better interest rates and to be able to get the $50,000. However, they will approve people as low as a 300 FICO score, believe it or not. But your interest rate's going to be higher, folks. You just have to take it as it comes, man. I mean, if you have really bad credit, you're going to have to pay a higher interest rate. That's just how it is. They will approve as low as 300. However, if you want a better interest rate and you want to be able to access up to 50,000, you're going to have to have a higher FICO score for Upstart, okay? So that's Upstart. Now, the most controversial of all of these 3, and one that you may or may not have heard of, is called Credit Fresh. So Credit Fresh, I'm going to put their information up on the screen. And so basically they have a super controversial type of lending where they will charge you kind of high interest rates per billing cycle. It's a little on the predatory side, but for those of you that are looking for up to $5,000, they're not going to do up to $50,000 like Prosper and Upstart, but they'll do up to $5,000, and it's a little on the predatory side. But it's for those of you that are looking for quick money, like money within 24 to 48 hours, and you want to get up to $5,000 to be able to get out of whatever financial mess that you're in. But again, I warn you, the likelihood that you're probably going to get out of this loan, unless you're making a whole bunch of extra side hustle money on the side to be able to pay it off quickly, is probably next to zero. So start thinking in terms of your longer term effort as far as getting out of debt, instead of just thinking of this as, hand to mouth all the time, paycheck to paycheck, let's just make it through the day and into tomorrow. You have to stop thinking about that. You have to start thinking in terms of longer term, to ultimately start getting out of the cataclysmic credit situation that you're in right now. And the only way I can inform you on how to do that is by finding a side hustle business. So again, hit my channel. You can find a whole bunch of side hustle business opportunities that can help you get out quickly to be able to start making money on the side as quickly as, the next 1 to 2 weeks. I do talk about different side hustle opportunities that start making money right away. So you might want to check that out on my channel. I hope this was able to help you. But again, I warn you, just be very careful getting involved in any of these unsecured loans, especially if you have bad credit, especially if you have no means or methods to be able to pay it back. at least right away, because you're just going to be able to dig yourself deeper into debt, and that's never a good thing. So just start thinking in terms of what kind of side hustle you could start doing right away, maybe using that extra money you can borrow from Upstart or from Prosper, and that you can put into your side hustle business, so then at least you have a chance on getting out of debt, not only with the loan that you take with one of these 3 companies, but also with any and all credit that you're trying to get rid of and abolish that you have, that you're responsible for at this time. So if you found that this was useful for you, please give me a nice thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel. This is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you in the next video.